Happy New Year to everyone as we are back for episode number 17 of the Off the Court podcast. I got one of the better juniors in our state coming out of Cactus Shadows High School up in the Cave Creek, Scottsdale area. I got Trey Chemin. Appreciate you coming on, man, and taking some time before a game, especially against Higley and also before school. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm just hanging out, watched a lot of basketball throughout this past week. So a lot of good stuff's been going on, it seems like, throughout the state. So glad to have you on
Yeah.
though, and talk about you and kind of your team and your story. Um, I want to focus on this as my first question. You guys were just above the 500 mark last season at 14 and 12. Currently, you are 8-3 with some key wins against teams like Cienega and Saguaro at the McClintock shootout. What has changed in your eyes with how you guys have played this season compared to last?
I think this season we just really have a lot more team chemistry,
Mm.
and you can just tell everyone on the court wants it just as much as the next guy. So as long as we just keep playing like that, I think we should finish with an even better record.
And you as a junior too, I know you got some seniors on your team, but I'm sure you're looked at as one of the leaders, being one of the better players. What type of leadership role have you taken on, especially with some of your younger guys like Miles and even Patrick too? What kind of leadership have you brought to this team from this year compared to last as well?
This year, as a leader, I've really just been trying to lead by example. So going hard in practice, making sure guys are getting to the gym after practice, before practice, not just during that set time. So we're getting better constantly in the weight room, on the court, all aspects of the game.
Um, but like I said, 8-3, you guys have had a couple of losses against some good teams. You lost in overtime to Highland, and then your other two were unfortunately at the McClintock shootout, which we will get into. What has been the toughest challenge you feel you guys have faced as a team so far through these first 11 games?
I'd say the toughest so far is we haven't really all played together that much as a team. It's kind of a newer team, newer lineup. So I think just staying like composed when times get tough and executing our plays and just not letting teams speed us up has been the biggest challenge.
You have upped your game, especially from last year to now. Last year as a sophomore, you averaged around 12 points, 1 assist, 4 rebounds, and a steal. And this year, you're at the 16-point mark, 5.5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal per game. I know you had some run with is it up tempo elite in the Under Armour?
Yeah, so it's up tempo elite or UH elite.
UH
Yeah.
Elite.
Mhm.
I know you're with them this summer. You got to play, of course, a lot of summer ball with your team. What type of
Mhm.
preparation and work have you put in? Excuse me. What type of preparation and work have you been putting in to stand out in the ways you have so far this season?
The biggest thing for me was just playing in the Under Armour Circuit, Rise, and the UA Next sessions against those high level competition D1 kids is gaining my confidence and learning how to score against those bigger kids and like
Mm.
kids that are gonna play at the high, like major next level, and just showing that I can compete at that level too, and taking my physicality to the next level too. Like I was 180 last year. This year I'm 210. So I've just been really making sure that I can bang guys around and then score from every level too and keep not just get stiff and be like a football player, but still be smooth and have flow in my game.
What did you do to add 30 pounds? I'm sure it's not all muscle, but I'm sure like that's a lot of weight room. I'm sure that's a lot of eating. What in the world did you do to add 30 pounds to your 6'6" frame?
So I was 220 because I was really skinny last year. So
Okay.
I just really like try to put on weight, and then I'd say like in July or June I started like cutting the weight. So now it's like I've just leaned out and it's just like it's completely transformed my game. Being able
Hmm.
to get my shoulder into guys' chest and just move them at will while still feeling like I weigh 180. So
You're talking about kind of the experience you had, just being able to play against, more high level Division 1 talent, being on the Under Armour circuit. You were also playing, it seemed like, with a lot of AIA based kids. I feel like, with even the Nike EYBL team out here, Unity, they bring in a lot of guys from out of state, but it's a lot of prep kids too. It seemed like this up tempo team you played on had a lot of AIA kids with Reese and Dylan and
yeah.
Luke and Caesar and a lot of other kids. What was that experience like for you, though, being able to be in these circuits, playing against these top level teams and top level talent?
Well, first with UHLE, yeah, there was not a single prep school kid. It was all, I think our whole team was all just regular high school kids, and just playing at that with those kids that are at that next level. Because high school ball, there's still some kids that don't take it as serious or
Hmm.
train as much as like these kids do. So it really was just like an eye opener that I can compete with these kids that make it their whole lives just like me. So.
Cactus Shadows played in the McClintock shootout this past week. Unfortunately, you went 1-2, but again, we talked about a lot of good talent you guys played against, and you said, one of the challenges you guys have faced is not being able to playing together a lot since there's a lot of new guys. Overall, though, what was the experience like playing against some high level talent and teams like Mesquite and Apollo, who usually you don't play against throughout the season?
Mm. It was good. I think it was a good preparation coming into the second half of the season because once region starts, it's all high level playoff teams are going to play. So I think it was a great preparation. We got some really good takeaways from the games that we're now where we're at and seeing what we need to work on. So,
Yeah, it was Apollo. You guys lost 67 to 58,
mm,
68 to 63 to Mesquite in that loss, but then you went and beat Saguaro 64 to 52.
mm,
What type of things did you take away personally in those two losses to be able to come out and play the way you did and get the win against Saguaro?
mm. I just, against Saguaro, learning from those past two games, it was like we just need to have way more energy and like not back down to anyone because those first two games were kind of slow and sluggish. Like they were kind of just grind out battles.
Mm.
But it was that swirl game is we came out running and we never looked back. So just keeping our foot on the pedal when we're playing against teams and not letting up during certain moments.
Your guys' team motto seems to be a lot of ball movement, great pace you guys play with, and then a lot of communication defensively. I know as you as one of the anchors, and you got a couple of other guys in that 6'4", 6'5" range. For people that may be finding out about Cactus Shadows for the first time, how would you describe how you play?
I think we play a very organized set offense that we look to get everyone buckets, not just like it's not just everything ran for me. It's like we try to get everyone involved because we have multiple weapons on the team. So we just play together as a good team. We can shoot it. We can play inside out. Like our team is very versatile in our ability.
You're talking about kind of the new members of the team you have. I know Miles Godfrey is
Mm.
one of them being a freshman, and then you kind of have a great supporting cast around you and him with Patrick and Carter Brown. How has that been chemistry wise, being able to instill a freshman, more of a guard too? I know he's only 5'10", having to have him kind of run the show as well as having you and other guys like Patrick and Carter be great players to kind of form this great chemistry you guys seem to be building.
It's been great because I've known Carter and Patrick for years. So finally being able to play with all of us on the court at the same time has been great. And then with Miles too being a freshman, he's a great player. He knows how to get the ball to people, get them in their hands. So, I know what it felt like to be in his shoes too when I was a freshman on varsity. So just kind of trying to help take him under my wing and teach him some stuff, let him know like, hey, guys are gonna get on you because you're a freshman, but like just keep working, keep your head down, and you'll be good. So.
In your guys' wins this year, they seem to be like statement wins to put you guys on the map. I have it up here. You started off the year against Kellis, beat him by 31. Then you followed
Yeah.
that up with Red Mountain and beat him by 31.
Mhm.
Verado, a couple of games later, beat him by 23. And then Valley Vista, you beat by 13. You beat Independence by 40, and then 57 to 41 against Flagstaff. What have you noticed that is different with how you guys have, like, when you guys are going, it's like no one can stop you guys, it seems like. But in your eyes, what has been different this year in your guys' big wins like that compared to last season?
I think we all just have in the back of our minds, that people look over Cactus Shadows and no one
Mm.
really takes us as like a top team that can compete with those other teams like Notre Dame or the Higleys, like the high level teams. So I think like you said, they're statement wins that like, hey, we're up there too. Like we're a great team and we can compete. So
Yeah, it seems like you guys I had like the last episode I did was with Uriah Tenet, who's up in Prescott,
Mhm.
leading scorer in the state, and it seems like since they aren't up, they're excuse me, it seems like since they're not in the valley, they kind of get overlooked. And even with you guys,
Mhm.
you guys are still in the valley, but Shadows is like
Yeah,
it seems like it's up past Cave Creek, so like people
right,
kind of just like, oh, I don't really want to go and see them play because
right,
everything
yeah.
seems locally. But how has your coaching staff kind of prepared you guys and anchored you guys and got you guys ready so far this season? Because we're going to talk about it too, kind of just what the rest of your guys' year looks like. But what kind of style has your coaching staff tried to implement on you guys?
Well, they really just try to drill in our heads, like never like let up, like go at
Mm.
teams no matter how good they are, no matter how bad they are, how big of names they have, who they have, like just go at them 100% no matter what, and just keep playing together as a team. And we have one goal in mind, just to make it to that Elite Eight in the playoffs. So
And you guys, I know, didn't have the season you wanted last year, and I'm sure guys like you and Carter and Patrick are all wanting to get that. I know you're also a junior too, and it seems like with this roster, um, a lot of key guys are coming back. I don't have your stats unfortunately because it wasn't
yeah.
on Max Preps. But it seems like, a lot of the key guys that play will be coming back. So I think
Mm,
that's also going to help you guys just get even better with another year of playing together, another year of chemistry. But
right.
for you, the skill set for your size is very rare for, I believe, what we have currently around Arizona. There's not a lot of guys at your size that are that athletic and that strong in the paint, but can still be that anchor defensively and play at an efficient rate offensively. For people who may be finding out about you for the first time right now, how would you describe how you play?
I would say that I'm the most versatile player that you're gonna see because I can score all three levels. You can put me in the post. I can score against a 6'10" kid or a 6'2" kid. It doesn't matter. I can pull it from the mid range. I mean, I can hit an open three, pick and roll, pick and pop, like you name it on offense. If my coach tells me we need a bucket to go get it, I'm gonna go get it no matter what he needs. So, and then defensively too, like playing in the UAA sessions, learning how to guard like 1 through 5, like those. I've guarded 5-star point guards, 5-star big men. So just learning how to play against those kids has taught me a lot how to be versatile. So
And I'm sure too, playing in those circuits, like you're saying, playing against these high level recruits, which I'm sure like not a lot of these guys actually make it. I've seen a lot of
right.
videos online recently of like, here are the top, like what happened to the top 10 players in the class of so and so, and like four of them make it to the league. And like some play in the high
Mm,
majors, but then they don't get their way, and they all of a sudden are back down in like the JUCO scene for a couple of years before flaming
right.
out. Being able though to play defensively against those guys and also offensively, how has it helped you for this season? Because I know, at least the size difference is very different here compared to those national circuits. Of course,
Right.
with Arizona,
Mm,
Arizona's starting to become a legitimate basketball state, it seems like, from the
mm.
younger talent that continues to come up. But how is being able to be in these different areas, in these different cities, playing against kids from out of state that might be bigger and stronger than you, how has it helped your development as a player heading into the rest of your junior year and then your senior year too?
Well, I think it's helped a lot. Just like because going against now these high school guys compared to like you said the national circuit guys, it's boosted my confidence. Let me know like, hey, when I step on the court against these high school guys, even in the circuit games, I'm one of those guys that kids should look at and be like, oh, he's good. So
um, who are the
mm,
people you see most in yourself? Who are some guys you like to watch film on? I'm sure with like the 6'6" frame, there's a lot of guys
mm.
you can go to. But in your words, in your eyes, who are some guys you'd love to watch?
One guy I love to watch is Jimmy Butler, man. He's a dog. So I love Jimmy Butler. I love Anthony Edwards too. He's another one. Another guy I like to watch too is I don't know if I'm gonna say his name right, but Christian Bronson on the Nuggets.
Christian Brown?
Or Bond, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
he's
yeah.
another guy that like same exact build frame as me. So like he's another guy. My dad has me watch him a lot too because he's like, that's someone you should be watching. You can model your game after because you guys have the same exact build and stuff. So
and he has won a national championship
Right.
at Kansas and an NBA championship with the Denver Nuggets. Um, who are some people though that have like helped your game develop through these last couple of years? I know you just said like your dad tells you to watch film on these guys, but who are some people that have you've surrounded in your circle that have helped your game develop through these last couple of years?
Well, my dad is definitely the biggest one. He's always pushed me to be great and has told me like, hey, like don't back down to guys. You're up there too. So definitely my dad, and then also my club coaches and my high school coach too. My UHLE coach, Michael Cox, he's been a huge one. He trained me all summer, worked me points to where I felt like I was going to throw up in trainings and stuff. So he's been a great one. My high school coach, Zach Washit, he's been another one. There's been late nights where he'll come open up the gym for me, same thing, train me to where I'm about to throw up and stuff. So they've just really pushed me and want to help me make it. So.
As we kind of wrap up here, I do want to talk kind of about the rest of your season and what to expect from you guys. Currently, you and the rest of the Falcons are 10th according to Max Preps in the 5A region. And you guys have a very competitive schedule coming up the rest of the way. You're facing teams like Higley. This will come out tomorrow, so your game against Higley will already happen because you're playing Higley. Campo Verde, Notre Dame Prep, excuse me, and Desert Mountain, along with many others. How has your coaching staff prepared you guys for what's ahead for the rest of the year?
Just keep our head downs, keep working. Don't look back at our losses. Learn from them though. Don't look back and dwell on them. No matter what happens in the games, just keep playing together and move on to the next one. So
Home games seem to be pretty crazy at your
we
guys' gym. I've seen a couple of videos, of course, from your account of like you postering a kid in the student section, going crazy. But what is it? What are home games really like for people that may not know much about Cactus Shadows?
you know, it may be a small area, but our student section, it's the gym gets packed. The kids come out, so it's exciting, it's fun. It's a great environment. Have you never been to a Cactus Shadows game? I promise you it'll be packed. Everyone loves it, loves the coach, loves the team. We're all friends with, I mean, the whole basketball team is friends with everyone at the school. So, it's just a great energy and great environment. And it's really, it's fun. So,
Yeah. I want to talk to you a little for a couple minutes about kind of the talent you're seeing too within the state. Since you have played, this is your third year now as a junior. What do you think? What type of talent do you think really is in Arizona? Because of course, there's a lot of kids that are getting a lot of national recognition now. But
mm,
for you being able to play on the national circuit with Under Armour, but also being able to play against a lot of guys locally here, what are the differences in talent you've seen from your freshman year compared to now?
I think over the last 5 years, Arizona has just blown up with talent. Like you see just guys that are all of a sudden ESPN top 100 guys. Like I think Arizona is really like a legitimate basketball state. Like it's not something to be joked around with. Like there is guys that can compete at the next level here. So
And it seems like too, you see like you're talking about a lot of nationally ranked kids, a lot of kids that played locally that are now playing in the league. I'm sure Cody Williams is going to be the next on the way.
yeah.
Koa will probably follow him, but then you got guys like Saban Lee, who was a Corona kid who now plays for the Suns. I believe Dalen Terry also played
Mhm.
for Corona with the Bulls. You see Marvin Bagley, even guys honestly like Marcus Howard, who is playing professionally up in the Euro League, who's become one of the better guards there. When you see guys like those, make it to the next level and make it big, how much motivation does it give you to see that kids that, or guys, I should say, that grew up in the same areas, playing the same teams that as you did, are now up there with the best of the best?
Yeah, it's really motivating, because it's just like we're all humans. If you put in enough work and you have the abilities and the confidence to do it, I mean, it can take you anywhere. So that's just kind of my mentality. As long as I keep working and pushing myself to those limits, I mean, and keep my head down, there's just good things to come. So,
Well, Trey, I appreciate you coming on. How we end every show is favorite on court shoe. I know you guys are Nike now instead of Under Armour like you were last year, so I'm sure the range has opened up a little bit, but you also play in the Under Armour, so I'm sure you got a lot of cool
Right, yeah.
stuff. But what have been some favorite on-court shoes you've been rocking so far? Is there anything you got up your sleeve for the rest of the year too?
I just got new KDs. So the
Okay,
KD
which ones?
16s, I've been rocking the KD 16s. So I've been
Okay.
rocking those. Um, I had the LeBron 8s. I like those ones. I like those ones.
Are they
So
like the first release ones or are they the re-release that have come out?
I think they were the re-release ones. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They're I think it's the Miami City colorway.
Oh yeah, I know
So
you're talking
that the
about.
black and red. So I like those ones too.
Um, one of my last questions for you too. I used to do this in past episodes. I want to start doing it now. I won't go through your whole schedule, because you guys got over 10 games left, I think, over
Yeah.
15 games. Who are you most excited to play against?
Uh, any region. Oh, Notre Dame and DM. Those are the two
Okay.
teams this can be a test, see where I'm at. So those are the two games I'm really looking to. This can be a challenge just to see where I'm at. So those are two games I'm really looking to go hard in and just show what I can do. So
Well, Trey, I appreciate you coming on the podcast today and chopping it up with me. Anything to shout out before we get out of here?
just shout out the team Cactus Shadows. So we're out here, we're doing our thing, and we're gonna keep doing our thing. So
Well, thank you all for watching episode 17 of the podcast today. Make sure to go follow us on all platforms, offthecourt.pod on TikTok and Instagram. Subscribe to us on YouTube. And yeah, thank you all for watching. We will be back next week.